Hi, this is Zach from Warner Wound, and today I'll be doing 2 quick hands-ons with watches from Miro. We've reviewed Miro watches before. They make very simple, minimal everyday watches, verging on dress watches, but they're not minimal in like a stark way. Like they have some warmth to them, they have some feeling to them, they have nice kind of curves in the hands. They're a little bit more playful. I happen to just really appreciate their design and the kind of approach the brand takes. Also extremely well priced, a nice alternative to other kind of fashion brands that offer the same thing every day as a million other brands, but don't really do great pricing as well. So I think these are really cool, good unisex watches, especially the model we're going to start with here. This is called the Occasion 38, their first model with a sub-second dial. It's quartz powered, as you can clearly see, and it comes in a few different colors. This color was just really exciting to me. I really like what they're doing. They call it emerald. It has this sort of, the dial is, they call it emerald green. To me, it's a little bit more of a seafoam kind of a green. It's a really nice color. It's not too bright, but it is definitely colorful. And then the sub-dial is gray. So you're not getting, it doesn't feel too bright. It doesn't feel too playful. I think it works for men, but it definitely would also work nicely for women. But if you find that kind of color appealing, red secondhand then pops. The case is really nice on this watch. I think they just did a great job on it. It's 38 millimeters, 45 millimeters lug to lug, and 8.3 millimeters thick. So it's nice and thin. It's very light. It's very comfortable. The proportions look good. You have a nice kind of a thick bezel, triangular lugs with actually angular brushing on them, which looks really nice, and sapphire crystal as well. And this whole package comes in at 165 euros. I wasn't sure if that included VAT or not, so just to the euros. And that's around $175. So if that had VAT, it'll actually be considerably less than $175. So that's actually, I think, a fantastic price for something a little bit more fashionable and nice. Like if you need something a little bit dressier on occasion, perhaps get one that's not quite so colorful, but don't want to invest in a dress watch. Here you have something with more personality. It's just not, not a boring watch. Nice mesh bracelet too that it comes on, and I just think that works out really well. Now we're going to step on to a slightly larger, more casual watch. Now we're going to take a look at what they call the Everyday 40 in deep blue. 40 because of its 40 millimeters. So compared to the last one, you can see this is a larger watch. It has a much more kind of casual style to it, but it still is elegant and I think dressy in certain respects. It's definitely a watch I think you could wear to the office. I have it on here with an Oxford and a blazer, but it has also a little bit more sporty elements. The hands are more pronounced, the markers are more pronounced. But what they did with this series that's really cool is they started to play more with texture and color as well. So this is the deep blue version. And the center of the dial here is pinstriped, and then a nice kind of a dark blue. It's not very saturated, so it's not like a strong blue. It has a little bit of a gray feeling to it, but it still reads blue, which is nice. And then an indices around it that's a lighter blue, but once again, still kind of desaturated. Feels a little bit gray. So it's actually a very appealing blue dial. I like that you have a lighter blue, a darker blue, and then you have the use of texture. You also have some very nicely printed, white lines, indices, and then you have these applied markers on top of it, which are white. Overall, it's actually, I happen to think the dial of this is really quite attractive. And it then features leaf hands here and a red seconds hand. So you can see here this one is a quartz watch as well. And this one comes in, once again, at 165 euros, so around $175. This same exact watch, though, is available with a Miyota 9015 for a fairly incredible price, actually, at 270 euros. So that's about $286. Once again, though, that might not include, that might include VAT, so it might even be less than that. That's a fantastic price. Miyota 9015 movements are a great movement. We usually see them in watches more expensive than this, kind of tapering out around $1,000. So the automatic version of this, I think, would be a really, really appealing, just everyday watch with a little bit more color, but not, it's not shocking. It's still a style, it's still subtle, and, just overall kind of a nice look. And once again, this one is a sapphire crystal as well. Yeah, so just to kind of like wrap up between these two watches, once again, Miro, I think it's a really good brand just to kind of like keep in your book for very well priced, a little bit more playful, kind of more fashion-centric watches that are unique. They're not cookie cutter. They actually have some aesthetic ideas behind them, and they have really great prices. Once again, this with an automatic movement in it, I think is just a very unique mechanical offering.